Well, we are perceived as an American global company. American technology is seen as the number one technology in the world. So in the banking industry, being an American company is a very positive factor. Compared to our competition, our presence is actually in the entire world, while our competitors typically have more of a local scope and footprint, so they might be successful in certain regions, certain countries, and totally not present in other countries.
Very important for us, Chile, because they were the first market or the first country in the world that implemented on a big scale check scanners with UV technology. I would say easily that no one in the world, in our region, has the expertise that we have.
So we monitor truncation, the idea of countries and the financial systems within those countries legislating the ability to take the paper check out of the system and replace it with a digital image of the check. When we find those locations, those countries, we then look for the in-country software partners. And then together, we have the software and hardware pieces of the solution that the bank's looking for.
UV scanning and the kiosk market are markets that started in India. They were at the forefront of the technology. They did a lot of work in terms of regulation. They came up with a specification of the checks that actually allowed the use of the UV technology in a successful way to be able to prevent fraud.
Since the physical check does not need to move, the image can move. The same check that used to take 5 to 7 to 10 days to get processed is now getting processed on the same day. Now, one way of capturing that check is normal cameras. But normal cameras will not be able to ensure the authenticity of the check. There is some expertise that goes into ensuring that the check is authentic. We have been the pioneers of UV scanning across the industry. Our UV images are the highest standard images across the industry again.
We followed the check truncation in the US when at its inception, so since 2004. So we gained all this knowledge in dealing with initially US banks and US software companies, but also international banks and software companies. It allows us to bring knowledge to countries that are learning and puts us in a very strong consultative sales position. One of the approaches we took to the market is to start early in check truncation and education with customers. And what we did is we actually tried to get into markets where we expected truncation to happen very much early in the game, reach out to key partners, establish partnerships, educate our partners in the market in order to have them ready for check truncation when this happens, and do a lot of education with seminars, and that puts us in a leading position when truncation really happened.
Talking about specifics on check processing and check imaging and check truncation, we have a lot of experience in implementing those type of processes and technologies. Specifically, for instance, on RDC, remote deposit capture, we implemented the first project in Mexico in 2006. So that's a trend that we have been able to educate our partners in the region, giving them our experience, the best practices, what to do, what to avoid, etc., because we have gone through that.
Typically, customers that we deal with are used to importing products from foreign suppliers. Our approach is to have regions where we don't have a close presence, to have regional partners that are selling to sub-resellers. So if you think about the actual footprint, it's probably over a couple of hundred resellers that are carrying our products.
We have got a lot of inquiries from different companies in Brazil that they want to work with us in one way or the other. So it's a very good timing for the Brazilian market and for us as a company to work with them.
Well, in every market, there has been historically a product that makes more sense, especially in international. So in certain countries, price point has been a very sensitive topic. And we have some very good digital check legacy products that are at a very low price point due to the engineering that's been put in there. Knowing that the country is very price sensitive, we go in there with that product and we lead with it to make sure that we don't lose to the competition who's also offering a very economical product.
To be successful the next 10, 20 years is going to keep an eye on the payments world. So we do continue to diversify the business outside the world of checks. into the software world, into our smart vaults, electronic kiosks, other payment hardware vehicles, other software vehicles with a whole new generation of talented employees. I oftentimes look forward and I say 10 years from now, we're wildly successful, more successful than we are now.